I get a lot of people asking me how we were blessed to walk away from corporate America in our early 30s. Well, listen, I don't want to keep that a secret. I want to share it with the world. And so maybe you're listening to this podcast and you're trying to figure out, how do I even get started on my journey of entrepreneurship and getting to a level of freedom? Well, text the word freedom to 737 777 9909. Enter your information in, and we look forward to sharing some information with you. A proven system with small overhead, right? That you can do part-time, spare time, right from the comfort of your home, and have amazing mentors, coaches, and a community of entrepreneurs who are willing to support you and help you on your journey to freedom. Welcome to Code Freedom. I'm your host, Eddie Bales. Have you ever felt stuck? Have you ever felt like there's got to be more than life than the reality that you see every day? Tune in weekly, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays as we crack the codes to freedom in every area of your life. I wanted to read you this quick poem because I think it goes perfectly with what we're talking about today. And some of it comes from Burton Braley called Success. It's a poem. But Les Brown, I think he changed it up a little bit and made it in his own words. So I like Les Brown's version of it. So I'll read that to you guys. And so it goes like this. If you want a thing bad enough to go out and fight for it, to work day and night for it, to give up your time, your peace, and your sleep for it, if all that you dream and scheme is about it, and life seems useless and worthless without it, if you'll gladly sweat for it and fret for it and plan for it and lose all your terror of the opposition for it, if you simply go after that thing that you want with all your capacity, strength, and sagacity, faith, hope, and confidence, and stern pertinacity, if neither cold poverty, famine, nor gout, sickness, nor pain of body and brain can keep you away from that thing that you want, if dogged and grim you besiege it and beset it, with the help of God, you will get it. And that's by Les Brown. And so how bad do you want it? Welcome to Code Freedom. I'm your host, Eddie Bales, and this is episode 54. And today we're going to talk about one of my old mentors that I've learned from afar, Les Brown. He says, you got to be hungry, right? That's how he says it. And so here's the deal. If we want freedom in our life, then we got to be hungry, right? We have to have a burning desire, what they call a white hot burning desire. It's got to be almost an obsession, right? And I'm not talking about obsession for things, but I'm talking about obsession to be in control, to be able to control the narrative, right? To be able to do the things you want to do when you want to do it, how you want to do it, without having to ask anybody, right? Those are good reasons to be obsessed. You know, I think when people hear the word obsessed, they are automatically tie it to negativity, because that's just the way things are framed. But I think it's nothing wrong with being obsessed with wanting more for your family, wanting freedom, wanting to be the ability to spend more time with your family, spend more time with your kids, spend more time with your loved ones, right? Just be there, be involved, but also have the finances to go along with that, right? What good is the money without the time? What good is the time without the money? So it's got to be a big burning desire. In fact, I may have told this story before, but you heard the story of the kid who was searching for success. That's the secret to success. He goes to the old man's house, and the old man brings him to the back of his house, pulls him in the pool, almost near chokes him to death, and then finally at the last minute pulls him up out of the water and says, when you want success as bad as you want to breathe, then you'll have it. And that's the thing. We gotta want it better than anything, right? We have to be willing to be committed, be focused. Like, this is not something you have to be motivated to do, because this should be an internal motivation that drives you because you want it that bad. And that was kind of where I was at. Like, for me, I had seen too much. I had been around too many people who were succeeding to know that there's a life of freedom available for me if I just kept pressing, right? And although the journey took a little longer than I wanted it to in those early days, um, I'm so appreciative of just not quitting, not giving up, because life is great, and so I just want to share that there's light at the end of the tunnel, but you just got to stick with it. You got to find something and stick with it, right? And keep growing, keep reading, keep listening to podcasts like this. Keep searching. It's got to be like a search, right? It's almost got to be like an investigation, if you will. And you just keep going until you find what you're looking for. Because guess what? If you seek, you will find. If you ask, you will get the answer. And if you knock, the door will be open to you, but you have to continue to press, right? So that's kind of what this message is about today. Is how bad do you really want it, right? Like, do you just want it just a little bit, or do you really want it, right? And I would even say write down some reasons why. One thing that I would suggest you do, and maybe I'll elaborate more in a future episode, is journaling, right? Because you want to journal your progress so that you can look back and see how far you came, see where you are, see how things used to be. I do that all the time, even in my journals, right? I used to buy the cheap what do you call it, composition notebooks, and now I spend a little money on my journals, right? So my journals have gotten more expensive over the years, but it kind of shows where the transitions and where the changes have been as well. So again, how bad do you want it, right? Do you want it as bad as you want to breathe, right? Is it something we think about every single day? Is it something that we visualize every single day? What would it look like? Write down what it would look like. Tell people. Associate yourself with people who are already there or on their way there, right? And seek out mentors. There's just a few things to do, and you just do them every single day, and eventually you'll start to see things turn the corner. You'll start to see things happen. We've talked about on this episode a lot of things, right? I mean, I can't even believe we're 54 episodes in. It seems like literally just yesterday we just started the podcast. But for me, I just want to just give an insane amount of value. So I don't mind bringing as many episodes as I need to help free somebody, even if it's just one person. If one person gets free from these podcasts, I'll be happy. But also, I think about the legacy. I also think about the fact that one day, the children that I don't have will be listening to this podcast saying, "Oh my God!" Right? And so, I just want to continue to drop the breadcrumbs on the way to Grandma's house, and just share with you just different ideas, philosophies, tips, and I'll also be continuing to bring guests as well that can share just different insights on their journey to freedom. So again, how bad do you want it? You got to want it bad enough, and you got to obsess over it. You got to think about it often. You got to be working on it every single day, right? I mean, it's got to be one of those things where it's like people know that you're going to get there because that's all you think about. That's all you work on. And now don't get me wrong. I'm not saying to negate your family. I'm not saying to negate your spiritual life and all those other things. You know, you got to keep all the priorities in place. But at the same time, if you're going to get off work, I always used to say what you do from 5 to 9 will determine what you do from 9 to 5, because that 5 to 9, that's your time. And what are you going to do with it? Are you just going to come home and watch movies all day, or are you going to put some effort into writing that book, put some effort into writing that course, or create something that can create passive income in a way where you now can live the lifestyle of your dreams? But at the end of the day, you're also serving people, right? So you get to serve people, but also you get to be in a position where, service to many leads to greatness. So when you provide an insane amount of value, it always comes back to you. And never forget that. So I appreciate you guys for listening in. Short episode today, but I just hope and pray that you want it bad enough. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you guys for listening. Definitely feel free to take a screenshot of this episode, tag me in it on Instagram or Facebook or wherever you find me on social media. I would love to give you a shout out. Hey, you might even get a prize. Who knows? But excited that you had a chance to take a listen. I hope you got a lot of value. And definitely feel free to give us 5 stars as well as a review. Show us some love, and we appreciate you. God bless you all, and see you all over the top.